Good morning. Today we choose to recognize, honor, love, and celebrate anyone here who would claim their identity publicly as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning, intersex, pansexual, asexual, or any category that I've left out. This is Phoenix. You're a little shy. Do you want to tell everyone if you're a boy or a girl?
I just want to tell them that I'm a girl.
Okay, you can tell them that. Okay. Phoenix would like you to know that she's a girl and she prefers she and her pronouns. This way. May you be well, safe, and whole. We honor you exactly as you are.
Okay, this stuff is sick, and I don't even know if y'all realize this is what y'all voting for. Y'all voting for politicians that's pushing for little babies to get hormone pills. Little babies, for their parents to tell them that they're a little boy if they're a little girl, or if they're a little girl, they're a little boy. Like, this stuff is child abuse. The stuff that Dwayne Wade got going on with his son, 12 years old, 13 years old, that's child abuse. All of that stuff is child abuse. I don't know how we live in a society where we're accepting this type of behavior from parents. These parents that do this to their kids should go to jail or should suffer some kind of severe consequence, because this stuff is sick. These kids are not even thinking about sex. They're not even thinking about gay, straight, or anything. They don't know nothing about no LGBTQ. They don't know nothing about anything to do with sexuality. And then we're pushing it on them. You can see it clearly in this video, and this is what happened. This stuff is starting to go crazy, where especially these women are trying to make their boys be little girls and dress them up as little girls. There have been cases where dads rebelled against it. Then a dad lose all his rights, and we're voting. We don't even know. I don't think, especially black people, I don't think we know that these are the type of politicians that we're putting in office for. They're trying to create a culture in America where this will be normalized. And a lot of other countries are doing it too. And we should not go along with it as a society.
I am a drag queen and a children's book author. And you may be wondering to yourself, what on earth is a drag queen? Well, don't worry, because I'm going to tell you. Drag queens, we are everyday people. So today, I am going to read from my own book, The Hips on the Drag Queen Go Swish, Swish, Swish. And I wrote this book because I wanted everyone to get to experience the magic of drag and to get a little practice shaking their hips or shimmying their shoulders. The shoulders on the drag queen go shimmy, 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 shimmy. Shimmy, 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 the shoulders on the drag queen go shimmy, 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 all through the town. The cheeks on the drag queen go blush, 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 blush. The cheeks on the drag queen go blush, 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 all through the town. The fingers on the drag queen go snap, 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 snap. The fingers on the drag queen go snap, 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 all through the town. The mouth on the drag queen goes blah, 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 blah. The mouth on the drag queen goes blah, 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 all through the town. Here's our big finish. The dance of the drag queen goes twirl, 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 twirl. The dance of the drag queen goes twirl, 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 all through the town. Big finish. Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause. I think we might have some drag queens in training on our hands.
They're really showing themselves to do really well. Come on, man.
This is terrifying. Like you always tell me, vote for the lesser of two evils. This is what you see as the lesser of the two evils? Do most people know that they're voting for this stuff? Voting for transgender story hour. Voting for grown men that believe they're women or temporary a woman to go to your kids' elementary school, kindergarten, first, second grade kids to learn how the hips on a drag queen go round and round. And if I say that I don't support it, then I'm the evil person who's not accepting of other people. It's one thing to do this when you are grown. Go to colleges and teach them about it. Don't go to elementary schools to trans the kids. This is literally a push on the children to turn their sexuality to something that's unnatural. I wonder, do most people know they support this stuff when they say vote for the lesser of two evils? And if that's not enough, check this out.
Genital mutilation has been nearly universally condemned. Genital mutilation has been condemned by the WHO, the United Nations Children's Fund, the United Nations Population Fund. According to the WHO, genital mutilation is recognized internationally as a violation of human rights. Genital mutilation is considered particularly egregious because, as the WHO notes, it is nearly always carried out on minors and is a violation of the rights of children. Most genital mutilation is not typically performed by force, but as WHO notes, that by social convention, social norm, the social pressure to conform, to do what others do and have been doing, as well as the need to be accepted socially and the fear of being rejected by the community. American culture is now normalizing the idea that minors can be given hormones to prevent their biological development of their secondary sexual characteristics. Dr. Levine, you have supported both allowing minors to be given hormone blockers to prevent them from going through puberty, as well as surgical destruction of a minor's genitalia. Like surgical mutilation, hormonal interruption of puberty can permanently alter and prevent secondary sexual characteristics. The American College of Pediatricians reports that 80 to 95% of prepubertal children with gender dysphoria will experience resolution by late adolescence if not exposed to medical intervention and social affirmation. Dr. Levine, do you believe that minors are capable of making such a life-changing decision as changing one's sex?
Well, Senator, thank you for your interest in this question. Transgender medicine is a very complex and nuanced field with robust research and standards of care that have been developed. And if I am fortunate enough to be confirmed as the Assistant Secretary of Health, I would look forward to working with you and your office and coming to your office and discussing the particulars of the standards of care for transgender medicine.
The specific question was about minors. Let's be a little more specific since you evaded the question. Do you support the government intervening to override the parent's consent to give a child puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and/or amputation surgery of breasts and genitalia? You have said that you're willing to accelerate the protocols for street kids. I'm alarmed that poor kids with no parents who are homeless and distraught, you would just go through this and allow that to happen to a minor. I would hope that you would have compassion for Kira Bell, who's a 23-year-old girl who was confused with her identity. At 14, she read on the internet about something about transsexual. She thought, well, maybe that's what I am. She ended up getting these puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones. She had her breasts amputated. But here's what ultimately she says now. And this is a very insightful decision from someone who made a mistake but was led to believe this was a good thing by the medical community. I made a brash decision as a teenager, as a lot of teenagers do, trying to find confidence and happiness, except now the rest of my life will be negatively affected, she said, adding that the medicalized gender transitioning was a very temporary, superficial fix for a very complex identity issue. What I'm alarmed at is that you're not willing to say absolutely minors shouldn't be making decisions to amputate their breast or to amputate their genitalia. For most of our history, we believe that minors don't have full rights and the parents need to be involved. So I'm alarmed that you won't say with certainty that minors should not have the ability to make the decision to take hormones that will affect them for the rest of their life. Will you make a more firm decision on whether or not minors should be involved in these decisions?
Senator, transgender medicine is a very complex and nuanced field, and if confirmed to the position of Assistant Secretary of Health, I would certainly be pleased to come to your office and talk with you and your staff about the standards of care and the complexity of this field.
Let it go into the record that the witness refused to answer the question. The question is a very specific one. Should minors be making these momentous decisions? For most of the history of medicine, we wouldn't let you have a cut sewn up in the ER, but you're willing to let a minor take things that prevent their puberty, and you think they get that back? You give a woman testosterone enough that she grows a beard, you think she's going to go back looking like a woman when you stop the testosterone? You have permanently changed them. Infertility is another problem. None of these drugs have been approved for this. They're all being used off-label. I find it ironic that the left that went nuts over hydroxychloroquine being used possibly for COVID are not alarmed that these hormones are being used off-label. There's no long-term studies. We don't know what happens to them. We do know that there are dozens and dozens of people who've been through this who regret that this happened and a permanent change happened to them. And, you know, if you've ever been around children, 14-year-olds can't make this decision. In the gender dysphoria clinic in England, 10% of the kids are between the ages of 3 and 10. We should be outraged that someone's talking to a 3-year-old about changing their sex. I can't vote for you if you can't.
Thank you so much, Senator Paul. Senator Levine, thank you for answering the question. I will turn to Senator Baldwin.
Okay, Rachel Levine was appointed as Assistant Secretary for Health under Joe Biden's administration. Now, I didn't want to talk too much in this video at all, because when I talk to a lot of like my far left liberal friends, they don't believe me when I tell them this is what's going on. So instead of me doing a bunch of talking, I just wanted to prove it and break it down. Like, these are your Joe Bidens, your Kamala Harris. This is what they support. Now, prove me wrong that the Democratic Party is not the party that's trying to push a LGBTQ agenda, a transgender movement on the children. This Rachel lady, or man, woman, whatever she is, she's trying to pass some bill where it's going to make it okay to start giving 3-year-olds hormone pills that some crazy parents can choose to do to their kids. Now, y'all got the argument where, you know, it's the woman's choice when the baby's in the body and all of that stuff. But now y'all talking about it's separate from the mother. Now you're doing this to a separate body. Now we're going to make it okay to start giving little kids, babies, hormone pills, to start transing them early. They might not even agree with this stuff when they turn 10 years old. They might not agree with this stuff when they turn 18. And it's hard to reverse this kind of stuff. So, anyway, y'all don't believe me half of the time when I say this stuff. So, I just wanted to show y'all on screen what's really going on. Comment, like, share, subscribe.